Intro to Web Editors. In this overview, I'll be discussing a free piece of software called KompoZer, formerly NVU, and probably the most popular web editor, Dreamweaver. In both, I'll be discussing how to set the title and body attributes, how to format text, how to add anchors and links, and how to add images. In KompoZer, first, immediately save the file. File, Save As. Notice it's prompting for a title. I'll just put in test for the time being. I'll go to my Lab 4 folder and open up the Pages folder. Only index.html does not go in the Pages or Images folder. In the Pages folder, make sure you name all your files with lowercase letters. This will save you a lot of grief in the future. Save. Now notice our title is on the title bar. If you wish to change that, you can go to Format, Page Title, and Properties. But for right now, I'm going to go to Page Colors and Background. I'll use custom colors. Perhaps I'll use a dark fuchsia for my text. Perhaps I'll use a bright red for my link. Perhaps I'll use orange for my activated link. And perhaps I'll choose turquoise for my visited link color. By the way, you can do much better than this. I can also choose my background image. From the current folder, I need to get out of Pages and go back to Lab 4. I now need to open the Images folder, and for the time being, I'll use Pink Fabric. Click OK. Formatting text. I'll just type in some text. I can highlight this text and increase or decrease the size. I can change it to headlines or pre-formatted. I could make it part of a list or part of a bulleted list, or I can make it bold, italic, and underlined. I can also control whether it's left aligned, center aligned, or right aligned. Add anchors and links. Let me do something very similar to Lab 2. Link test 1. I'll make that a headline size 2. I need to add an anchor near the top of my page. So I'll click here and name the anchor very top. I'm going to hit the enter key several times to make the page taller than the screen. Notice my scroll bar. I'll add an anchor at the bottom of the page called very bottom. Right here to page 1 to bottom. Highlight my text, click on the link, browse to page 1. Highlight to bottom, click link, click the drop down arrow and choose very bottom. Scroll to the bottom of the page. Add some text to top. Select it all. Add a link. Use the drop down arrow. Very top. That's basically what we did in Lab 2. Please notice, at any time I can split to see my web page and the code that it's working on, or I could choose to view the source. While there's some extra information you're not familiar with, I'll bet you could read most of this web page. Back to design. Add images. Click the Image button. Browse to the Images folder. Choose the image. Notice it's prompting for alternate text. Notice it writing the path. Click OK. When finished, make sure you choose File, Save. Dreamweaver. Again, how to add the title and body attributes. I'll choose a new HTML page. Again, it's usually a good idea to do a File, Save As. Again, I'm going to my Lab 4 folder. Pages. I could use HTML, but I prefer to use HTML for my regular pages at this time. I'll call this test2.html. Click Save. We need to add a title. Test 2. Body attributes. At the bottom of the page, choose Page Properties. We don't know what CSS is just yet, so we'll choose HTML. We can browse from folders, up one step, to Images, Yellow Fabric. For my background color, perhaps I'd like a pale yellow. For text, maybe navy. For links, maybe a dark brown. For visited link, turquoise. Activated link, bright green. Again, you can do better. Link, test 2. Highlight that. Let's format that as a headline, size 2. Let's insert a named anchor and call it very-top. Let's hit the Enter key a bunch of times. Notice our scroll bar. Insert a named anchor, very-bottom. Scroll to the top. To page 1, to bottom, to Temple College. Highlight, insert, hyperlink. Browse to page 1. Highlight, insert, hyperlink. Use the drop-down list, very bottom. At the bottom of the page, to top. Highlight the text, insert, hyperlink. Use the drop-down list, very top. Scroll to the top of the page. Highlight. Now let me show you a slightly easier way to add a URL. Down at the bottom, just type in the URL. Insert image. Again, you can browse up and down to find the images folder. Add your alternate text. One last thing that we can easily do in Dreamweaver is image maps. Select the picture. Notice our rectangular, circular, and polygonal hotspots. I'll choose my rectangular hotspot and just make this part of the image a link to test. File, save. Here's my Lab 4 folder. Open up the Pages folder. Here's Test. Here's test 2. When I point at this part of the image, standard cursor. When I point at this part of the image, I can see that it will link